Well, let's pick up on what Solange was talking about at the end of that report with Armen, Georgian, our Europe editor, who's with me now. The Mercosur deal, Armen, landmark agreement. Does it look like it's going to pass?
It's looking more shaky now for this agreement than it was at this time yesterday, Nadia. So just to rewind for a minute, yesterday we had members of the European Parliament backing stronger safeguards for European producers in the Mercosur proposed deal. It seemed that there was some momentum for this deal to go forward to an actual signing in Brazil, I think, on the 20th of December. Things are now not looking so good because we've heard that Italy has joined France in asking for a delay to the signing. And if you put Italy in the no camp, it seems that you do actually have a blocking minority that can stop this going forward. I just did a very quick calculation before I came on. So if you add the populations of France, Italy, Hungary and Poland, right, so those are the four countries that basically oppose this or want a delay, they represent 39% of the EU's overall population. And for a blocking minority, you only need 35%. So they seem to be over the line. We'll have to see what happens later at this important EU summit tomorrow and Friday.
And look, so we're going to have farmers protesting in Brussels tomorrow, aren't we, to show their opposition to this potential deal. What would you say is their main objection now?
Yeah, so these protests are not only about Mercosur, there's also the proposed EU cut in the Common Agricultural Policy budget. They're very worried about that cut because they're saying we're going to have this kind of renationalization of the EU's only common budget, and you're going to have this fragmentation of 27 national agricultural budgets that will have a very severe impact. That's what their association was telling me yesterday. But also, of course, Mercosur is a big deal as well. Let's listen now to Eli Tsifuro, the Secretary General of the umbrella organization of European farmers and agri cooperatives. She was speaking to me a bit earlier from Brussels.
And that it is a long-standing ask on behalf of our community is the question of reciprocity. And there, in the Mercosur deal, we see that the gap between the EU standards and the standards that are practically not applying in those countries is enormous. You cannot address the standards question through a defensive mechanism. What we are saying is that our colleagues, let's say from the Mercosur countries, they need to commit to the same directions as we do in Europe, and this is not addressed by the safeguards.
So basically, Nadia, to sum up, the big issue for farmers, and not only for farmers in Europe, is these divergent standards, the fact that products in Latin America are not held up to the same standards when it comes to things like pesticides and hormones as products in Europe are held to, and that's really the fundamental difference. And farmers don't believe that this can be addressed, or agricultural organizations don't believe that this can be addressed simply by these reactive or defensive mechanisms from the EU side of the Mercosur equation.
All right, Armen, Georgian, thank you very much.